I was doing everything right, building my brands, managing money, showing up online, but I was still stuck. Spiritually dry, financially frustrated, and at 29, I finally figured it out. I'm Christian Graham, co-founder of Maricars Media and the MK Lab, and business coach to multiple 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs. And I'm here to let you know that this one truth changed everything, and it might be the very thing blocking your growth too. You see, there's this myth in entrepreneurship that the harder you work, the more you grow. But I was grinding. I worked 16 to 18 hours a day in my restaurant, recorded content, I even made a music video. I had a saying that no one could outwork, but I wasn't growing spiritually. My prayer life felt dry, I wasn't growing financially, and my income plateaued and fluctuated hard. Even my marriage felt tense at times, though I didn't want to admit it. And the worst part is, on the outside, I looked like I was winning, but inside, I was diminishing and stuck. And here's the hard truth. I was growing in performance, but neglecting my posture. So point number 1, I confused performance with purpose. You see, I had fallen into what behavioral psychologists call identity fusion, where your self-worth fuses with your achievements. I had all the accolades, articles, and awards, but I wasn't building for impact. I was building strictly for income and to be deemed important. And when your business becomes your identity, growth becomes toxic because now you're growing to prove worth and please people and not to serve them. God commands us to love others and serve them with our gifts, not to make a spectacle of it so that our platform grows, but in order to bring him glory through it. I don't care if you're the most analytical person in the room. You need to detach yourself from the identity of your metrics and ask yourself, if the money stopped tomorrow, if the goal isn't met by the deadline, if your business flops, would you still feel valuable? You see, 1 Peter 2:9 reminds us this truth. You are a chosen people, God's special possession. Your identity is given, not earned. Point number 2, I had vision, but no alignment. Once upon a time, I was a project manager with plans to be a financial advisor when I was in my corporate season. I was casting vision all day. Smart goals, roadmaps, Kaizen, lean continuous improvement. And I even brought all of those skills to Smack and Guamini Grill, my first restaurant. But I clearly wasn't in alignment with the assignment God gave me. Working 16 to 18 hours a day, gambling, doing everything to get ahead of God. I eventually learned to filter every decision through 3 alignment questions. 1, does this bring me closer to God or distract me with hustle? 2, am I building with wisdom or simply chasing opportunity? And 3, am I people-pleasing or God-pleasing? You see, I had a saying, money enhances more opportunities, because I've heard in the past, money is a metaphor for opportunities. And it is, so I made it my memo. My message was to go and make money, get the bag, and then you can start to minister to those in the higher courts, because then you'll be accepted. Until God reminded me that for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your fathers, as it is this day. Deuteronomy 8:18. You see, he switched my lens from me doing to him doing, because it is he that enables more opportunities, not money. Let me simplify. God is the ultimate source of wealth, success, prosperity, not your human efforts and works. Proverbs 19:21 reminds us that many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Money doesn't create more opportunities. God does. It's our responsibility to steward money, vision, and resources with purposeful positioning. Point number 3, I was sowing without surrendering. I tithed, I served, I gave, but deep down, I was still holding on to control. You see, you can sow out of routine and still not reap because your motive is off. This is a psychological principle known as the illusion of control. Humans overestimate how much they influence outcomes. You see, I was giving God money, but not my mind, and certainly not my heart. I said, your will be done, but only if it matches my business plan. This is a control trap. You can't expect God to move in your finances, in your business, in your investments, if he doesn't have the final say so. He asks for our heart. You see, Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Ask yourself, is God at the center of your heart? This is important because if we don't have God at the center of our hearts, we put business, finance, family, spouses, etc. there, and then we start to guard it. Everything that flows from it will be from those things and not of God. So try to reframe your heart and mind to be of true stewardship, meaning trusting God with the timing, outcome, and direction, not just the tithe. Because unless the Lord builds the house, the builder's labor is in vain. Psalm 127:1. Let me take you back to the moment it broke. I was sitting in my room, just lost 5 figures in a week in sports betting, and God whispered, "You're forgiven. Stop trying to prove your worth. I'm your source." I wept because I realized I wasn't growing because I was still holding on to control, to pride, to performance, and it was blocking His provision. Here's some practical tactics that'll actually help you grow. 1. Start your day with stillness instead of strategy. Get into the Word before workflow, even if it's just one verse. 2. Offer your strengths and double down on the assignment God has for you. Drop the things that are profitable but not purposeful. Number 3. Track obedience, not just output. Examine your heart. Take inventory of what's there and ask God to remove anything that's not of Him. 4. Tithe with joy, not fear. Give as a reminder of who your source is and not based on what He does for you. 5. Get honest with God, your spouse, mentors, and wise counsel. Growth starts the moment you start to take accountability, confess, repent, and turn from the things that don't multiply good seed. The reason I wasn't growing spiritually or financially was because I was still the one sitting on the throne of my life. The moment I stepped down and let Jesus lead, He didn't just grow my income, He increased my impact, He elevated my influence, and He rooted me back in my identity. If you're tired of performing and ready to be planted, comment realign below and subscribe if you're done chasing money and ready to build mission-driven business with God. And if this message shook something in your spirit, send it to a brother or sister who needs it too. You were never meant to grow in your own strength. You were meant to grow with God, in His grace and for His glory. Let's build different. Stay blessed, stay grounded, let's grow. Peace.